Hello, everyone. Welcome back to E20 Zone TV. I hope you're having a very, very good Thursday wherever you are on the planet. Yeah, another game coming up. West Ham versus Bournemouth. Preview for this clash against a side that is pretty good at the minute. I'm not going to lie. Bournemouth are a side that is doing pretty well this season. They got a very, very good manager, and they look the real deal. And then there's us, and we're a shower of shit. So but last night I done like the afterthought and the after hours, sorry. And I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna let it all go. Now we've got to concentrate on this. We need a reaction. Simple as that. There's no excuses now. We need a reaction. I can't keep hearing rubbish. Can't keep hearing, oh, he hasn't got his players. We need a reaction. So hopefully we get a reaction against Bournemouth on Saturday. Before I get started, please do smash a like on the video. Goes a long way. Really helps me get out there. If you want to share this video to any social media platform, goes a long way. It really helps us grow the channel to be the best it can be. Do you know what I'm saying? Right, let's get into this match preview time. For me, changes are a must. Yeah, simple as that. I need to see changes in a positive aspect. Do you know what I'm saying? On Tuesday night was so deflating. I can't stress how deflating it actually was. It was so deflating, and it angered me to a point that we had a manager or head coach who basically just seemed like he chucked a load of players together and hoped for the best. He just hoped for the best. I don't want to see Paqueta and James Ward-Prowse. Lewis Guilherme ain't going to get a start in this one. And I need to see an attacking formation, an attacking lineup. I will argue this till the cows come home. This system doesn't work. This three at the back that he's trying to do, this 3-4-1-2 or whatever it is, or 5-3-2, it ain't going to work. Yeah, because we're just not that good in the middle of the park. And I don't think signing has changed that. I think you have to develop this sort of system over a long period of time. Yeah. I need to see Nicholas Füllkrug from the start. He come on at half time. He done pretty well. I think he has to start. I need to see Soucek. I need to see Alvarez, and I need to see a midfield which is strong and compact against a Bournemouth side who do like to press. Yeah, like they are a pressing side. But one thing I noticed with Bournemouth the other day when I watched them against Manchester City is they're a bit gung ho. They start off like a machine, go down, pressing people, pressing. And then all of a sudden, they just drop off. Yeah. And it proved it against Manchester City on Sunday. They started off well, they scored, and they should have scored another one. They didn't. And in the second half, they ran out of steam, and then Man City just run all over them. Do you know what I'm saying? Obviously, they've got some good players, right? Clivert's a tricky little player, and Semedo is another one who he's a talented player. I think he used to play for Bristol City, if I remember rightly, and he was very good then. So I need to see something from Potter. I do. I need to see something from Potter, and keep playing the same system over and over again and expecting different results. I ain't gonna fucking change that. Do you know what I'm saying? Like in the second half against Wolves, he played a 4-2-3-1 system, and we looked a lot better. Yeah. The system for me, West Ham should be playing is a 4-3-3. Yeah. 4-3-3 all day long. Soucek, Alvarez, Paqueta. Yeah. And then you go with Bowen, Kudus, and a centre forward. Right. All this trying to play two centre forward, play a centre forward, and then Bowen just off of it. It just doesn't make a lot of sense to me. It really doesn't. And I need to see a reaction. I need to see a reaction. Now, I've gone around the circuit today. Shout out to Nick. Nick shouted his channel out earlier on, so I appreciate it as he does, and it goes a long way for shouting out the channel. But I've seen the reaction of people, yeah, and people are saying it was another game, and it is what it is. I honestly, I'm not buying it. I'm not buying this one at all. And as I said last night, and I'll say it again right now, I need to see what the future is. And the future at the minute is people just turning around and saying that signings are just going to change the game for us. No, come on, you've got some good players at this club, yeah. And listen, Lopetegui was a mess, and Potter's come in and he's stabled these sort of defence. But anyone would stable the defence if you're going to put 8 defensive minded players in front of the goalkeeper. Do you know what I'm saying? Let's be real here. Yeah. So I need to see something from Potter. I need to see something from this team. Now, injury concerns are a big issue. There was no Tadibo on Tuesday night, and I need to see him in the side. This He's in 1 week, he's out the next is baffling. It's baffling beyond belief. I need to see Mo back, and I'm hoping Mo is back. I need to see Krug from the start. And I need to find out where Jared Bowen's playing. That's another one that I do really need to find out of what position that Potter's trying to put Bowen in, because people wasn't happy when he was a centre forward. I didn't mind him in a centre forward role as the central striker. In a two-man attack, I'm not buying it. I'm simply not. I think Bowen's a better as an inside forward on the right hand side. He cuts inside. He's deadly from that side. Yeah. So I want to see a three-man attack against Bournemouth. If this is a dead season, and people keep telling me, James, this is a dead season, well, attack 4-3-3, please, Mr. Potter. Yeah, 4-3-3. You don't need Cresswell in this side at home against Bournemouth. Yeah. Listen, Scholes is a player who's learning on the job, and he needs some experience. But you take Cresswell out, you put a third man attacker in there, yeah, it's a completely different ball game for us. I want West Ham to go up against teams and score some fucking goals. I really do. I can't keep hearing this rubbish of, you know what, it's a possession based game. And it might be his philosophy, but his philosophy might not suit us. Simple as that. And that's where you've got to look at this. So against Bournemouth, I need to see an attacking threat. I need to see a team that is looking to win rather than looking to not lose. And I need to see something from Potter. I need to see something from Potter. There's been games now where he's let it go, right? I thought Tuesday night he majorly fucked up. And I think this game, I need to see a reaction from him. And we're going to know after this game on Saturday at 5 o'clock whether or not he's up for the task here. Because people are expecting a performance, especially after Tuesday night's result. I expect a performance, and if we don't get one, why aren't we getting one? And I feel like people are too easy and too quick to keep turning around and saying it's the midfield. Well, you've got Alvarez there, you've got Souček there, you've got Ward-Prowse, you've got Paqueta. Go with a three-man midfield, and I do not understand why a 4-3-3 is not even being looked at. West Ham, in their best moment under David Moyes, played 4-3-3. Yeah, they had Kudus, Bowen, and Paqueta up front. They had a three-man midfield. I think it was Ward-Prowse, Paqueta. No, it was Ward-Prowse, Souček, and there was someone else in there. I can't remember who the other person was. And we was good. We was extremely good. Yeah. Now, all of a sudden, it seems like we're scared to do it. We're scared to do it. So I need to see something on that regard. And obviously personnel is going to come into it. So let's have a look at the personnel. Let's come over to this. Let's go start 11. I will get to your comments shortly at the end. Right, let's go start 11. First off, Areola in goal. It's a given. He has to go in goal, right? Because he's the only one who's any good. Fabian's is too old, and League One Wes is here just for the pay packet to a point. The back five has to go to a back four for me. It really does. And I can't keep hearing, oh, he's got to play three defenders, right? Nah, fuck this, right? If this is a dead season, everyone keeps telling me he can go with four defenders, yeah, and we can be more better on the attack. For me, you go with a Wan-Bissaka, Tadibo if he's fit. I think he is fit, right? If he isn't fit, then you have to go Mav and Kilman, and then you go with Scholes or Emerson, right? For me, Scholes defensively good. Offensively, not so good. No disrespect to the kid, but he's not very good going forward. But he's learning on the job, so I ain't going to criticise the man, right? But I need to see 4-3-3. You take Cresswell out of this game, and two centre halves against Bournemouth. I'm up for. Do you know what I mean? Yes, they are going to press, but if we can compact the midfield, we're going to have half a chance of turning the ball over, turning them around, and attacking them rather than them sort of pressing on us. In midfield, right, you need to have Alvarez, Souček, and either Paqueta or Ward-Prowse, right? You need three men in there, right? Because with that shit, going with two doesn't make no sense. We're that bad in midfield that everyone keeps telling me that we're so bad, James. We're so shit. We're so shit. We can't do any better. Why are you going with two midfielders then? You pack it out, you go with another one. Yeah, you go with three. Suchek, Alvarez, and Paqueta for me. That's what I would go with. I would have Suchek as a sort of box to box. I'd have Alvarez as the sitting defensive midfielder, someone who sits there, breaks the play up, turns the ball around, passes it to the wingers, and to move the ball forward. And then I'd have Paqueta in there, yeah, as the sort of creative threat because he's a better creator to a point than Ward-Prowse. Then moving to the attack line, we need to see Nicholas Füllkrug, Jared Bowen, and if Kudus is fit, get him on the left hand side. You're going to have to because we've got no choice. Or you swap it around and you go Paqueta on the left, Bowen on the right, Ferguson or Füllkrug for the middle, and then you put Ward-Prowse, Souček, and Alvarez as a three-man midfield. Right? We have to see an attacking threat, and at the minute we have none. We have none of any note, of any quality, and it's just not good enough. It's just not good enough. So I need to see 4-3-3. Am I going to see 4-3-3? Absolutely not. I'm going to see five at the back. It's going to be a possession-based game. He's probably going to take out Guilherme and bring in Alvarez and go with Alvarez, Paqueta, and Ward-Prowse, or Guilherme out, Souček in. It's going to be one of them, right? But Jared Bowen is a shadow of the man in this side, yeah, in the way he's playing, and we all know Jared on the right does damage against any team. In a front three, right hand side, inside forward, Jared Bowen is deadly. He's one of the best in the league. So why is he not being played in that role? I think it's a bit of stubbornness from Potter, and I'm getting pissed off with it. I really, really am. So I need to. I need to see something. Do you know what I'm saying? Have you thought about what you're saying? Uh, have you thought about saying what you think? Too true, William. Too true. I say too much. Do you know what I'm saying? So yeah, let me know what you think with the starting 11. Yeah, I will get to the prediction at the end. I'm going to get to a few of your comments because this is a bit of a different show tonight. Right, let's get to Kane. Shout out to Kane all the way over down in Sussex. He's Graham Potter, not Harry Potter. Why can't I question Mr. 28% rate? Yeah, I agree, mate. I agree. I just need to see something against Bournemouth. I need to, because if we don't see something against Bournemouth, then this is going to up the ante. Do you know what I mean? Am I sitting here going, we need to get rid of Graham Potter? No, I'm not. But I am going to question of what the fuck he's doing. And it seems like people are scared. They are. They're acting like pussy holes, a lot of them, right? They're scared to question the man. Why? Why? Is it like if many people are seeing the same problem and they're all saying the same thing, and there is no agenda with the man. The geezer's been here, what, 11 games? I've got no agenda against the geezer. I want the geezer to do amazing. I want the geezer to win the FA Cup for us, right, next year. But you have got a question of some of the stuff that he is doing, and you do, yeah? And I need to see an attacking threat, massively attacking threat. Like three results we've had this year, 3 wins. And each win has different sort of problems in it, yeah? The Arsenal game is a great victory, right? We stopped them in North London, and that will forever be. I will forever be grateful for that. But the performance itself was a gritty defensive display against a really, really good side, but who had no attacking threat. Leicester, we scored 2. We should have rolled Leicester out the ground. Yeah, that should have been 4 or 5. Easily should have been 4 or 5. Yeah, second half we should have been all over them, and it felt like the handbrake was up. And I said it on the show when I was doing it. The handbrake was fully up, and it was like, yeah, we've done the job. That's it. And the Fulham game, when he got his first win, that game was mental. It was chaos, absolute chaos. And if Traore puts that chance away, we're all sitting here scratching our heads, going, "Oh, that's not good." But I think it was 3-1 up in that game, and then we started to fall apart. So I need to see something from Potter. I really do. I need to see a way of playing. Now, everyone says to me, they say, Jay, he's set in his ways. Yeah, this is his philosophy. The biggest load of shit I've ever heard in my life. I'm going to say that quite openly, because on Tuesday night at half time, he completely changes his whole setup, goes 4-2-3-1, and tries to be more attacking. Why is he not being like that from the start? Like, someone tell me in the chat, please. Like, I honestly beg, right? Why is he not being more expansive from the start? Like, it just doesn't make no sense. Like, and That's where I'm losing it a little bit with him. Do you mean I'm not one to say, listen, I want him to be sacked tonight. I'm not. But you have got to ask the questions of why. Why this situation is not working? Why he's gone with a two-man midfield when we're poor in midfield? People keep telling me, oh, it doesn't matter what midfield you play. Alvarez, Souček, and Paqueta is not a bad midfield. Alvarez, Souček, and Ward-Prowse is okay, but it's not amazing, right? You've got to be hard to beat. If we're shit in midfield, we've got to be hard to beat. And the problem is we're not hard to beat at the minute. We're pretty easy. And I've said it all season. Yeah, I said it with Lopetegui, and I said it with Potter. As soon as we go 1-0 down, then what? Then what? Like, and it proved it to me on Tuesday night, right? We go 1-0 down against Wolves at half time. He changes it. He makes 3 substitutions at half time. And he tries to change his whole philosophy around because he's solid up in the first place. Like, I don't know about anyone else tonight, but I think this game is such a big game for West Ham because if Ipswich go and win another game and Wolves pick up another win, I ain't gonna say we're in trouble, but I'm gonna start being concerned if this man's not gonna pick up any wins. Like, it's just, it's sad. It's sad. Do you know what I'm saying? And my issue is currently right now, and this is the major issue that I've got, right, is too many people are pinning all their hopes on the summer. And we all know what we're like in a transfer window. We are poor. And that is my major concern at the minute. That is the thing where I look at it and I think yous are asking for. Let me have a look at something quickly. Yous are asking for basically to be absolutely spot on in the summer and then spin that around to start the season and then go on from there. If you believe in that, then I believe in Father Christmas and the fucking fairy godmother because I don't believe that, mate. Yeah. People say the same lines over and over again. Yeah. They say the same shit over and over again. If players come in and they don't perform straight away, the first line that they will use is you've got to let them bed in or time to gel. Yeah. Or give them time, trust the process and all this shit. I'm not buying it. I see Dimitri Payet arrive at West Ham and light it up in the first season, right? And he was a player that wasn't even mentioned for any other top club. West Ham went out there, got him from Marseille, signed him for about £12.5 million. Man was one of the best players in the world for a season, right? So it's time to gel, bedding in, all this bollocks. It has to stop, really, because we should have a standard at West Ham, and our standard has massively dropped. People's standards now are basically saying it don't matter. And that's not right. Against Bournemouth, before I get to predictions, I'm going to go through your comments. Potter's got to deliver. It's time to deliver, Potter. Right at the end of the day, and I'm going to say it quite openly. Right, there is no more excuses now. Right, you are going to have 60,000 fans there that expect West Ham to win. Right, I expect West Ham to beat Bournemouth at home. Do you know what I mean? And whether they're good or they're not is irrelevant. Right. West Ham United is a big club. You're at a big club. We expect to beat Bournemouth at home, right? And you've got to find a way of doing that at the end of the day. So there you go. Right, let's get to the predictions, and then I'm going to go through your comments quickly. What do I think on this game? I'm actually deeply concerned. I really am, and my fear is, as it always is, as I always say on the preview and on afterthought, if we don't score first, we don't win. It's as simple as that. We have to score first in this game. Bournemouth will come. They will press. Obviously, they lost against Ipswich last night. They're not in a good run of form. I spoke to Craig from a Bournemouth channel, and he knows that he's got a bad record, and Bournemouth have got a bad record at West Ham. So for me, I expect West Ham to win this game. But will they win this game? I don't think they do. I think we get done. I think we get done 2-1. I think Bournemouth come out. I think they score early, and then the pressure's firmly on Potter. I think they score another one, and then we will get a late consolation, and then that'd be it. And then that'd be it. And if he goes with this sort of setup that he's going to go for, then mate, I'm worried. I've never been so worried about West Ham for next season. Never, right? And I've seen West Ham go down. I've seen us fucking in 2007 nearly go down, and Tevez saved the day for us at Old Trafford. I've seen it all. On this one, we are asking this man to come in, buy players, and change the whole philosophy of West Ham in the space of 6 months. Fuck me, we're asking for a lot. We're asking for a lot there. So I'm going to go 2-1 Bournemouth. I've got no faith in West Ham beating Bournemouth. None. And we've got a good record against Bournemouth. Let's have it right. We don't really lose against Bournemouth. Well, it's 9 times out of 10 we usually get a draw there. And this season we played them twice. We beat them at the LS in the League Cup game, and we should have beat them at Dean Court at their gaff, but we didn't. And they scored a scream of a free kick just before Christmas. I expect West Ham to turn up and win. Simple as that. Yeah, and we need a reaction. As simple as that. So I'm going to say 2-1 to them. I think they're a completely better side than us. I think they're competing more in the league. But prove me wrong, West Ham. That's all I'm going to say. Prove me wrong, please. Shout out to Gilly. Come on, you irons. He gives a fiver. Thank you very much, mate. I really do appreciate it. Shout out to you wherever you are, mate. And he's put a comment here. I think Potter come in, saw exactly what Loppy and Moyes were dealing with, and he's panicked. We are shit, unfortunately. I agree. I agree to a point, but with Potter, I still can't get over. And I've said it all. I've said it for the last 48 hours. Someone explained to me that lineup against Wolves the other night, and explained to me why he's gone with a 2-man midfield when he knows the midfield shit. Do you know what I mean? I can guarantee it. I could look all around the world, yeah, at every sort of podcast related to West Ham, and then predicting the lineup. No one got that lineup. Absolute no chance. No one would have gone with Lucas Paqueta and James Ward-Prowse as a 2-man midfield. Do you know what I'm saying? And it just felt wrong. It just felt like it was just, as I said the other day, it felt like to me that he had put the names in a fucking hat and just drew them out and said, well, the lucky winner is Lewis Guilherme. You're playing tonight. And I just, you know, like, the excuses are irritating. That's one thing I will say. The excuses that is the problem that I can't stand at the minute, is because, as I said to AD Lad last night, or the other night, I turned around and said, just own it. Just be honest. I'd rather someone be honest, whether they like it or not, and say, right, yes, James, he fucked up the fucking midfield, but I don't want him to leave because I believe in this. I would respect that greatly. I'd say, you know what, fair enough, I'm with you. But when people mask over his mistakes, and it was a mistake because the substitutions made it the mistake because he had to make 3 of them. Do you know what I mean? And I agree with that comment there. Not starting Alvarez was very, very strange. When you're going up against Andre and Gomez, and Gomez is a lovely little player that I'd love to have at West Ham, Brazilian. I just can't work it out. I just can't work it out. And the problem is we don't know what he's going to put out of his arse on Saturday afternoon. Come 1:45, or 1:45, sorry. Is it like, is Falkirk going to start? Yeah. Is Ferguson going to be given another opportunity? The Jared Bowen sort of experiment, I don't know what that is at the minute. Is he a front man, a front two? We all know as West Ham United fans, right? And we all know this, that he's not a sort of 2-man strike force. Jared Bowen is one of the best inside forwards in the Premier League. Yeah, you get him on the right, you let him run at people, he cuts inside and he lets fly, right? Every single time, right? That's how he's learned his craft. That's what he was like at Hull. That's what he was like at every other club. But for some crazy reason, West Ham now want to play him either as a fucking fullback in one game against Crystal Palace, I think it was, or Brentford, or play him as a 2-man strike force. It just doesn't make a lot of sense. And it feels like and when people say about experimenting, yeah, it's okay experimenting, but come on, you've got to have an end product at the end of it. Do you know what I'm saying? You can't be doing that. Otherwise, he might just chuck the youth players in. Just chuck the youth in and go, you know what? Bring the youth in. That's it. Like, I don't know. I don't know, mate. Evening, James. We miss Somerville. We do, mate, but there's no guarantees at the minute he'll be playing. At the minute, like, there's a lot of players in this side. If you was to keep, and I'm going to go for another sort of 10 minutes because I need to sort of let this all out. If we keep Mohamed Kudus, yeah, Bowen, Paqueta, Stebo, right, and a few others, right, because I think them, what I've just named, if they all stay, I don't know where Mo fits next year in this system. If he's playing a 3-4-1-2, he's not a centre forward. He as a 10, I don't know. I don't know. I think there's better creative tens out there than Mo. Yeah, I think Mo's better on the right, but then you got Bowen on the right, so you got a problem there. It just feels like next season everyone is going right next season, and do you know what the recipe for that is? Disaster. Because if it doesn't kick into gear straight away, and I see it come out today about he's got a break clause in his contract part. I see that earlier on. We are going to have the same situation that we had under Julian Lopetegui and under David Moyes, where people will be looking at him, judging him on the first 6 months of next season. And if it ain't working out, people are going to go Potter in, Potter out. That's what it's going to be. And it all goes back, and I say it quite openly and with passion on this, yeah, because I was one of the people that said it a few years ago with Sullivan. It goes back to Sullivan. Because Sullivan had a choice to make when he got rid of Moyes, right? Go out and pay the money for a manager. Go out and bring in that higher class manager. In a space of a year, we've had three managers, and each one didn't really know what they was doing in the end. Yeah, David Moyes. I love him for what he gave in 2023 because he gave me my best moment, and I will never disrespect him for that. Never, never, because I've seen West Ham go down, and I've been heartbroken when I've seen West Ham go down in 2003, and I knew that we was losing everyone. Um, I ain't going to disrespect him. Lopetegui had no fucking clue. He had no clue what the man was trying to do, and he was a man that should have been sacked before he got the sack. Like, why it took so long, I don't know. Getting battered against teams consistently, players out of position, West Ham off the ball, absolutely shocking. Yeah, and then Graham Potter comes in, and people are like, "Well, we can't judge him." And I'm looking at it, I'm thinking, "Well, you've got Kudus here, you've got Bowen here, you've got Paqueta here, you got Tadebo, you've got some good players here, Wan-Bissaka, right? He has got to try and give us something back. Do you know what I mean? You can't just keep losing and going, oh yeah, well, it's a dead season, it's a dead season. You know what I mean? I'm gonna say this, right, before I get to some more comments. Right. We've got, as I said last night on the after our show, got Spurs in a few weeks. Yeah. I ain't accepting that bollocks against them. Absolute no fucking chance. I will not accept it's a dead season. It doesn't matter. Because if I hear that against Spurs, then I'm not talking to West Ham fans. Because whenever we play Spurs, we don't want to lose. Ever. And that was the game that turned my head on Lopetegui when we got absolutely obliterated at White Hart Lane back in, I think it was end of September, beginning of October. Yeah, it was around that time. When we play Spurs, who's had an awful season, I want West Ham to beat Spurs. Yeah, and I expect Graham Potter to put it out a team to win. Yeah, and not a team to try not to lose, so to speak. So I don't care about it. Yeah, it's 8 games to go, 9 games to go, whatever it is. I need to see something from Potter. He's got now to the end of the season. If Potter was in a caretaker role right now, and if people was to be honest and stop lying to their fucking self every 5 minutes, no one would want Potter now. But if people looked at it right now and said you can go out and get any other manager right now at the end of the season, people would say no. We right, we don't want Potter. We want to change it. So Potter's got he's got to deliver. He's got to deliver at the end of the day. Do you know what I mean? You seem to forget you've had a much worse season than Spurs. We've had a much worse season than Spurs, mate. But Spurs are shit this year. And to lose, if we lose to them at the LS, questions will need to be asked of why we keep fucking losing. And this gimmick that I keep hearing is of wait to the summer, let's wait and see, right? And don't worry, it's a dead season. As I said last night, and I say it again on this preview, right? Don't be fucking gaslit by no one. And I'm glad. I'm actually glad. I'm seeing YouTubers, yeah, all the big YouTubers. You know who they are. They're all coming out in force and saying the same thing. So they all can't be fucking wrong. And we're not doing it for a laugh. We're not saying it for a laugh. We're saying it because we've seen this shit before. Do you know what I'm saying? And my biggest fear is the summer, to a point where people go wait to the summer. People keep forgetting. Like, I've heard this one too many times. I heard this with Tim Steidman last year. Oh, Tim's going to change the game for us. Right, wait and see. Right, wait until he gets fucking Joe Bloggs in. He doesn't do it. Right, Tim's out the door. And Sullivan likes to get his hands dirty, especially when it comes to money, right? And that's where I'm concerned. Because if Potter goes out with Macaulay and he turns around and says, right, I want this man, this man, this man, and he don't get no man, right? Then what? What we're gonna like start going down to the third, fourth, fifth choice? I think we're playing a dangerous game here, and I'm going to be honest. The system that he plays grinds into me because it isn't. It's a possession based game. And shout out to a few of the boys who basically said this on Spaces when I was doing Spaces a while back. They said, Jay, no one's going to like the way he plays, mate, because he plays. It's a boring style of play. He just passes you to death. Do you know what I'm saying? And with West Ham at the minute, we can't pass fucking 5 yards at the minute. Do you know what I'm saying? But one thing we can do, we could set up in a counter-attacking stance and hit these teams on the fucking break. We could allow Bournemouth to come onto us and then hit them fast on the break with Mo, with Bowen, with Ferguson or Forkrug, with Paqueta. Do you know what I mean? We can do it. But the problem is we don't do it because my biggest fear and my biggest thing that I say, I just hope we ain't got another stubborn manager. That's the one where I look at it, where we've got such a stubborn manager who's set in his ways and he doesn't like to change it unless his back is firmly against the wall. I see it with Julian Lopetegui, yeah. Every time that man would go out with a lineup and we'd go 1-0 down or 2-0 down, he'd chuck everyone on, yeah, and he'd be trying to save the day. And 9 times out of 10, it wouldn't work. There'd be the odd game where it might work, but 9 times out of 10, it wouldn't work. And I see it again with Potter. And I see it again on Wednesday night, Tuesday night, sorry, where basically he fucked up from the start and then he's making 3 substitutions. No manager should be making 3 substitutions at half time and getting it that wrong in the first 45 minutes. I don't care what anyone says. Do you know what I mean? Like, to get it that wrong so bad. So, right, let's get to your comments. Let's remember we can criticise the manager and realise our squad is shit. The manager is making mistakes. It doesn't have to be just one, which you are only been talking Potter recently. Listen, I agree. Like, for me, I'm not sitting here with the band and saying sack this man. I'm not. But what I'm saying is ask questions of what he's trying to do. Because it just seems like to me you can't ask no questions no more. And we used to have this. I used to have this with Moyes. And I said it and I swore on my fucking life on this one that I would say I will not be bullied into saying something else, right? If I believe something's not right, I'm going to say it. And I don't give a fuck if it offends, yeah, because I'm not here to offend you. I'm here to give you my opinion. Do you know what I'm saying? And with Potter, he's got to show us something. Like, when I ask people this, and I really do, I say to people that what have you seen from him? What have you seen from West Ham under Potter's reign? 11 games in, I might add. And people say to me, well, our defence is a lot better, right? But come on, our defence had to be better because it couldn't get any fucking worse under Lopetegui, right? So he shored the defence up. So he shores the defence up that much that we've got no attack. How does that balance itself out? Like you've got to have balance. And I say it on this channel. Anyone who's new to this channel, if you're come for like a balance and not complete left or complete right, you're at the right place. Because I will be balanced. If I think something's not right, I'm going to say it. If I think someone is talking a lot of bollocks, I'm going to say it. Like you have to be balanced in this argument, and the argument is that from now to the end of the season, Potter's got to show us the future. And at the minute, he's not showing us nothing. And we're not getting rid of everyone. People think we're going to get rid of absolutely everyone in the starting in the 25. We ain't getting rid of everyone. I can guarantee you we will have about 12, 13 players here next year who's currently in this current squad. Do you know what I'm saying? And it just needs to be balanced at the end of the day, mate. And one thing with Potter, he can't find fucking balance. You know what I mean? Every fad is entitled to their opinion. I agree, Darren. But the problem is when people say that they're entitled to their opinion, but then they turn around and spin it all the way around and say you're the problem. That's when I can't get on board with it. Do you know what I'm saying? I'm not sitting here after every game, like morning, noon, and night, covering it on YouTube, sitting there going, oh, fucking hell, yeah, that was great. Like, we was unlucky. Because if we was unlucky and we was great, I'd fucking say it. I'd say it. I'm not going to sit here and lie to you because I wouldn't want to be lied to myself. So why am I going to sit here and lie to people? I'm not going to do it. I haven't done it in 4 years of doing YouTube, and I'm not going to do it now, right? So when people turn around and say, and I see something on TikTok, and that's the reason why last night it fucking triggered me, mate. I mean, like, it really, really, really did trigger me. Yeah, I see it on TikTok, and I thought, fuck this, I'm doing a video, right? And someone was basically turning around and saying, don't listen to anyone who's judging Potter now. And I felt like I had to comment and say, who are you? Like, who are you? Do you know what I'm saying? Like, you're telling us not to fucking worry about it, but we can't win a game. Like, do you know what I mean? We're struggling to win games. And you're telling us don't worry about it. Yeah, you know, it's people live in fantasy fucking Ireland, and I don't live in fantasy Ireland, mate. I live in the real in reality, and the reality is this is not great at the minute. Yeah, and this is no, I don't do this for clout. I'm not doing it for clout. I'm doing it because I'm a passionate West Ham fan. That I want to see the best for this fucking club, and I do want to go back to Europe, and I do want to see West Ham win stuff before I fucking snuff it. Right? I'm not going to sit here in 2025 witnessing West Ham becoming West Ham of old. I will not do it. I will not accept that, and no one else should. Do you know what I mean? People say it takes time. It takes time. It don't take fucking time. Yeah, you see Aston Villa, you see Nottingham Forest, you see Brighton, you see all these clubs. And remember, let's have it right. Let's have it right now. I know I'm going on a bit of a rant, and I'm going to shut the fuck up in a minute, yeah? But we won that conference trophy in 2023. We should have built on that. We should be where Villa are right now, and that is competing to try and get into Europa League, stroke Champions League. But we had climbed the mountain and won a trophy for the first time in 43 years. We should be where we are now. At the end of the season, if we finish 17th, that is totally and utterly unacceptable. Totally unacceptable. And, you know, Potter's been here. We've played Brentford at home, lost. Palace at home, lost. Like, we've played teams where we should be getting points and we haven't. And that's where I draw the line with it, if I'm being honest. The season ticket drive is on. Potter has a break clause. David is close. Do me a favour. Said it for a long time, mate. Listen, anyone who's new here, yeah, who knows me, knows that I've been saying about Sullivan even under Moyes, and I was when people were screaming about get Moyes out the club, he's no good, he's this, he's that. My argument was, yeah, you might want him to go, but remember who runs the show at our club. Just remember that. Just take a step back and go, right, who's picking the manager? People believe Steinem was picking the manager. Wasn't going to happen. This wasn't going to happen. And um, anyone who knows what Sullivan's like, he runs the show and he'll run it to the end. And this is why the summer's massive for West Ham. Every summer, I say it ever since I've done YouTube. Every summer, the summer's huge, biggest summer ever going. Well, yet again, we're in a situation again where the summer's massive again. Do you know what I'm saying? You know, shout out to Darren. Do you think our poor form is more down to the players or the manager? I think there is a balance there because it's a combination of both. I'll tell you what I believe it is, mate. I don't like this system that he implies. I've never have done. I don't like three at back. I think with them teams who play that, they have to be technically good teams. And West Ham United is a counter-attacking unit. West Ham under Moyes was a counter-attacking side where they would sit in a low block and then they would hit teams fast and hard on the break and be destructive. Yeah. I just don't think we're made for the three at the back possession based game. Now, signings change that. That's all well and good, but we're pinning on the hopes that people that ain't even here yet. Like, do you know what I'm saying? And the problem is, how many do you need? Do we need 10 new signings this summer? Do we need 12 new signings this summer? Like, and the thing is, I think it's a bit of stubbornness with Potter, if you want me to be truthfully honest. I really do. I really strongly believe this because that second half proved so much to me. So much. Because when he subbed them three players off at half time, yeah, literally, he's destroyed fucking Guilherme now because Guilherme ain't going to get a game there from now to the end of the season. It goes 4-2-3-1. And we look a lot better. I would rather West Ham have a go and really have a go at these teams from now to the end of the season. But it feels like to me he's setting up not to lose rather than trying to win. And you know what? Shout out to Sid, all right? Shout out to Sid because Sid was on the coach the other night. When we was doing the afterthought the other night, Sid was on the coach coming home and he said it was dreadful, right? And his comment here says, oh, "What has happened to our high press against teams? It's gone. It's gone. It just feels wrong. It just feels wrong to me. It feels like that we've right. And I really want Potter to do well. I know Potter's got to build, right? He's got to build West Ham up. I understand that, but you still got a job to do now, though, mate. Do you know what I mean? You still got to please the fans at some stage, surely. Like you can't keep going. Oh, well, when we lose, it's a dead season. Like, so what if we lose every single game from now to the end of the season, right? That's acceptable. I just don't. I just can't accept that. I can't. I just can't accept that. Like, yeah, I just can't accept it. I really can't. It looks like we set up for a draw. Well, it's exactly what I'm saying. We're set up not to win the game. Simple as that. That's why people are saying we need a transfer to go from counter-attacking team to go to a technical team. Yeah, but Kim Jong-un, I'm going to be honest, there's no guarantees that whoever we bring in is going to hit the ground running straight away. So what we're doing, I'm just going to say this, we are gambling on new signings, all of them to hit the ground running because we can't just have two of them hit the ground running. We need all of them to hit the ground running, especially in midfield. So if we sign three new midfielders, we can't have one of them being good. We need all of them being good. So I don't know. I just feel that with the side that he's got, and let's have it right. I'm just going to be straight when I say this, right? We're not fucking shite. Yeah, we've got some decent players in our ranks. Jared Bowen, yeah, a good manager gets the best out of Mo, right? And I think Mo is up and down. Right, yeah, he's up and down, Mo, but he needs. You could get the best out of him, right? The Evan Ferguson thing. I see people having a go at Evan Ferguson the other day, yeah, and AD Lad come on here and he was saying, "Well, you've been saying about Ferguson." I've been saying about Ferguson, but because he has one iffy-ish game for 45 minutes, what we're all going to go in on him there all of a sudden? Do you know what I mean? It just we need to see an attacking threat, and I want West Ham to bury these teams. Right? I don't want to see West Ham passing sideways and back, and just keeping the XG at fucking a certain point. Yeah, that's not why I support West Ham United, right? I support West Ham United because I want to see this team win games of football and not just be fucking depressing. Yeah. The argument was under Moyes was the style of play, and the argument's going to be the style of play with Potter. Mark my words on it, it's coming. Right. When people look at it and they say, we've got we've got a possession based manager, but we can't create nothing and we're not getting no shots away. How does that work? Like how do we win games if we're not having shots on target? Do you know what I mean? Newcastle was a game where I never forget what someone said to me in my comment section after that game. I'd never forget it. They said, Jay, Newcastle have got a cup final right in 4 days, and we let them do what they like. And we did it. We was nowhere near them. We wasn't getting stuck into them. And you'd feel some of these players are looking to try and get in his good graces for next year, right? But it just feels flat. It feels flat, and it doesn't give me no optimism for the summer. Do you mean if he goes out and signs Jonathan David, yeah, which is honestly, I'd love David here. I think David is a quality player, right? Some of the boys on the spaces don't agree, but I think David would be quality. But we're hoping that all these signs are going to be good. And the thing is, I can't live on hope. Yeah, right. Because hope don't win your games. Managers and styles of play and sort of positive outlooks win your games to a point. We are too inconsistent at the moment. We need to be giving 100% effort, which at times we haven't. And some injuries have hindered us. Yeah, but Scott, I would probably say, apart from Kudus and Somerville, this is the strongest squad West Ham's had all season. Krug's back, Ferguson's in the lineup. I don't see right. We're running out of excuses now because once Kudus comes back, if he does come back on Saturday, sorry, West Ham are going to pretty much be in full strength. Do you know what I mean? Like, God knows where we'd be this year if we didn't have Bowen on our side. Do you know what I'm saying? If Bowen was out for a large period of time, I wouldn't even like to think where we would be. I wouldn't like to think it. So, on the contrary, though, when Potter tried four at the back against Brentford, it was the most diabolical performance so far since Potter has arrived. It looked like Lopetegui. Yeah, but listen. So what? You do it once, it don't work, and then you just retreat. Like that's not how it works, in my opinion. Do you know what I'm saying? Like in some games, you've got to change it up. Now, I remember what Gio said. Funny enough, and Gio turned around and said the thing where it sort of he was getting a bit nervous with Potter is he didn't change it in like 2 or 3 games in a row, and I was thinking, and I agree, I actually agree with Gio on this because against Arsenal he played Cresswell against Leicester a few days later. It was back five again. It was consistently not changing it. I think the only change that Potter's done recently was Emerson out, Emerson in, sorry, for Scholes out at Everton. Yeah. And I thought, no disrespect to Scholes, but Scholes is not a good attacker, right, on that side. Good defender, very good defender. I like him. But as an attacker, he's null and void. Do you know what I'm saying? When Emerson was playing against Everton, I thought he was all right. I thought he done all right against Everton, and we looked a lot better. So it is concerning. I've got a comment here. I'm back in Potter all the way. To be honest, I like the bloke too much to be getting mad about him with the level of players we have. You can like the bloke, mate. Yeah, I like the bloke. Yeah, I think he talks well. I think he has a lovely smile. But I want to see West Ham win games of football. I'm not here to like the geezer. I'm here to see our club, because I'm going to say our club. It ain't my club. It's our club. I want us to win. I'm getting pissed off with keep seeing mediocre shit, and basically, oh, it's fine because he's a nice geezer. He can be a nice geezer, but I want to see West Ham win games. Like, and I, I don't want him to be sacked. I'm going to make that quite clear. I don't want him to be sacked. But this thing where you can't say nothing bad about the geezer, that's some woke shit right there. And I mean, I fucking hate woke shit. So if he does shit, he's gonna cop some stick. Simple as that. If he does great, I'm gonna like fucking give him his flowers and say he's fucking like the best manager going. Right? You've got to be balanced. You can't just sit there and go, oh, because I like him, I think he's wonderful, I'm gonna back him. Because, I liked Moyes, but in the end, you couldn't you had to let him go in the end. And even I had to hold it on that and go, you know what, I've got to let him go. So, is what it is. Right, let's have a look. What's Scotty saying here? All depends. If David Sullivan puts his hands in his pockets, but then I can see Kudus and Paqueta go. If he's cleared, then we will use the money to reinvest, but hope we spend wisely. But do you think Kudus might stay? I don't know, mate. Um, I don't know. I don't know. I think Mo. I think Mo is a man who he could go anywhere. Do you know what I mean? It's up to Mo really. If Mo wants to stay, he's here, isn't he? At the end of the day, and people like highest in the chat there saying his little bit about being biased. It's not being biased; it's being honest. If Mo's shit, I'm going to criticise him. Yeah, and I know you're going to back him because he's probably like one of your Ghanaian sort of lads, but he's not Ghanaian to me. Do you know what I mean? So like at the end of the day, if he does wonderful and he scores weldy goals and things like that, I'm going to praise him up. It's all about being balanced, ladies and gentlemen. That's what it's about. So be balanced out there, people. Don't be the same. I will say that. No, I know what you mean, mate. It is boring, and he's not exactly happy with five at the back. But I'm going to make no judgment on the bloke who plays possession-based football with useless players. See, I understand that side of it, and that's the side that Jay and Lucas have. Right? What that comment is there? That's comment of the night. Right? What he's saying, I sort of understand, but my attitude is he's still got a job to do now. Yeah, his job doesn't start in the summer. He's still got a job to do now. We've still got positions in the league where we could climb up and get a few more mil, right? Goes a long way, right? Also, you've got to look at this also for attracting transfer targets. If West Ham finished 17th this year, and a player wants to is looking for a transfer to the Premier League, and he looks at West Ham and goes, "Fuck man, they finished 17th last year. I don't fancy that." And he ends up going to Brentford or Brighton. Like, we're going to lose out on targets and all. So unless they're useless possession wise, good on the counter attack. That's about it. Yeah, I agree with what you're saying. Question here. Let's get to this one. Why should we wait for him to get his own players in just for the same thing to happen again? A manager should be able to use this squad. Do we spend another 150 million and get worse? See, on that comment there, I sort of understand what you're saying, because this is not a complete squad of shit. Tadebo's not shit. Kilman's not shit. Right? That's two centre halves. They're two quality centre halves. Yeah, who I think they are decent players. The midfield's a problem, but then you just pack the midfield with three of them, right? And you just rotate it. You can go Soler, fucking Alvarez, Soucek. If you like, if you fancy it, Andy Irving. Fuck it. Do you know what I mean? But if there's three of them in there, you've got a bit more strength in there, yeah. But the attack line is where everyone's problem is at the minute. If West Ham was attacking these teams, having shots on goal, and say for instance we was all over Wolves the other day, they scored, and we just get done 1-0. People could stand back and go, well, look at that. Look what we tried to do there. we can understand it, right? There's been games this year where we haven't even had a shot in the second half on target. Against Newcastle, I remember the game clear as day. And in the second half of that game, we didn't have a shot on target, and that's not right at home. That's not right, and that's where the problem lies. Yeah, and this is the one thing that where hope, I'm hoping really Potter can sort of merge the two together and then become a balanced side. But I don't know about that. Do you know what I'm saying? Some players know they won't be here next season. That's why there is a lack of effort. I just think it's a balance of two, Darren, if I'm being honest. I think he doesn't know how to attack teams and he's too defensive. And I think he can't, simply can't get in the middle of it. He can't figure it out. And, don't panic, we'll just buy another whole new squad for Potter. Yeah, but I know what's coming with that though. Honestly, I really do. Well, I really actually enjoy counter-attacking football, but oh well, we have to deal with it. See, counter-attacking football for me, I've not got a problem with. If West Ham are good defensively and hit these teams fast on the break, I'm not going to sit there and moan, right? Because I know that once West Ham do go forward, we're going to make the opposition work. We're going to make their defenders work. We're going to make their goalkeeper work. Too many times this year, we haven't made no goalkeeper work in the second half. He's just sat there and he can have a fucking fag and chill out. Do you know what I'm saying? Jack Daniels and Coke. See, you know what I mean? That's fucking West Ham driving me to drink. What's it? Let's have a look. What else we got here? He's agreeing with him. Wonder what Moyes would have spent the money Loppy had. We'll never know, mate. Like at the end of the day, we never know. But obviously, we've got to look at Potter now. And for me, I just feel like people are people are trying to tell you that you're wrong, and I'm not telling people that they're wrong for believing in Potter. I'm not. I'm worried. I'm concerned. Yeah, I've got the right to feel like that when my team's only won 3 fucking games under his reign, and we've been battered in games against Crystal Palace and Brentford. Um, we our arseholes fall out at Everton away. Yeah, people will go, well, look at the Arsenal game. And as I said on the afterthought, and I did say it the other day, funny enough, um, the Arsenal game, everything fell in West Ham's favour on that day. Absolutely fell in our favour, right? From scoring just before half time to Lewis Skelly getting sent off. West Ham in a low block, know what they're doing. I'm going to be honest, no one people might not like that, and they go, oh, fuck the low block. But West Ham in a low block are very, very good. They know how to contain games. The in-game management was good. We was bastards against Arsenal, and ever since that game, I just haven't seen it. Like, and I would have thought that would have springboarded West Ham into action. I really did. I was so strong on this. I really thought that was going to go bosh. That's going to go take us to right. We're going to go on now because that's a statement win, right? That's a big win for West Ham against Arsenal away from home at the Emirates. And then the next 2 games, like the Leicester game was like a routine win, but I wasn't convinced. Yeah, when we should have rolled them out. And then the Newcastle game, and then the Everton game, I was like, nah, this is like where's it gone from that to this? Do you know what I'm saying? And the Everton one, as I say, really hurt, really did hurt. I think realistically, who do we get if Potter goes? That's the problem. Listen, as I say, like I'm hoping that Potter's going to do it for us. Right, I really do. I'm with yous. I'm hoping, but should we be really hoping, or should we be excited? Right, are people excited? Because you are literally looking at it and going, right, we're going to have to go out and get all these players, right? Who we don't even know who we're going to get. You know what I'm saying? And then next season, and this is my question to round it up. I'm going to put this question to everyone in the chat. Yeah, smash a like on the video though. Also, is this what happens if we start slow next year? And what Gio says about, you know, it's going to be a boring season, West Ham fans ain't going to put up with that, mate. I'm telling you that now, right? That's one thing. When he said that, I asked him straight, West Ham fans ain't going to put up with that. No one's going to sit there and accept a boring season. Not when people are travelling from different countries to come over and see West Ham play, different counties. Like, there's a geezer that I know on Twitter who travels all the way down from fucking Carlisle on the match day. No one is travelling all that way to go down to the LS to watch a boring game of football. Yeah. And that is where my concern is what happens if we start slow. If we start fast, yeah, then I can come on here and say, Jay, you was wrong. You overreacted, and I'm a bigger man to apologise, and I will do a video. I will be here, and I will say I was fucking wrong. But on the flip side of that, and there is the other side of the coin of that, if we start slow and it doesn't click into gear, then where we're at, because then what it is where this break clause comes into it, people will be looking at it and going, well, he's not the right guy. We're going to have to move on. It all goes back to Sullivan, mate. At the end of the day, and I said it this time last year, and I was literally pleading with people to start looking at Sullivan. Start looking at Sullivan. Goes back to Sullivan, because Sullivan, if Sullivan knew he was getting rid of Moyes, he should have pinpointed a manager of quality, not cheapness. Yeah, and he went with the cheapest fucking option going in Lopetegui. Lopetegui fucking burnt the whole team out. Potter's come in. It isn't great. It isn't great right now. And we're in a bit of a situation where we're doubting him to a point. Right. I'm going to be honest. I am doubting him to a point. I don't want him sacked, but I'm not convinced by the future with him at the minute. I see other people saying sack him now. I'm not on that vibe, but I'm entitled to turn around and say, you know what? Come on, right? I'm concerned. Fuck me, right? But you can't say that nowadays, otherwise you get done by the woke police. Do you know what I'm saying? Right, final few comments. Let's see what Dale's got to say. Potter is 100% better than Lop. He gets us safe. We haven't been battered by teams. We lost all our games narrowly. He's experimenting, and that's not his team. Give the man time. Why are we so pissed off? The reason is, Adele, right, is that we might not be getting battered by teams, but systems and lineups do not make no sense. And I will ask you this: explain to me on Tuesday night's lineup why fucking Ward Prowse and Lucas Paqueta are the two-man pivot when you've got Alvarez, Souček, and we all know that our midfield's so bad. So if our midfield is so bad, I'm going to say it calmly. If our midfield is so bad, why are we going with two? Or is it a case of he thought he'd take the piss, Potter, by doing them two up against Gomez and Andre, and Gomez and Andre teared us a new arsehole? Is that the real truth? Because I work with truth, not fiction. Do you know what I'm saying? That's what I believe. I believe he took the piss. He thought, don't worry, Paqueta and Ward-Prowse will handle Gomez and fucking Andre, and Gomez and Andre fucking ripped the arsehole out of us completely. Let me know your thoughts, Del. Do you know what I'm saying? Sullivan's buying free players. Potter's getting free players in the summer. The answer to all our problems. That is another comment of the night. And who's Macaulay getting? Do you know what I mean? Free and free. We're back again. We're back again. Let's have a look. Problem is David Sullivan isn't going anywhere anytime soon. Nothing will improve until David Sullivan goes. It always has been the case, mate. Loppy was more fun. One more too. Yeah, well, do you know what I mean? That famous win in Newcastle it will never be forgotten, mate. I actually got drunk on stream that night when Lopetegui decided to go up to St James's Park and win a game of football. Never be forgotten. I think he was trying to take the piss and failed. I agree. Yeah, I agree. I will say this. I much rather Potter test out players, Gammy, for example, than play people that are going to go anyway and win a game 1-2-0. Yeah, but the thing is with the Guilherme thing, mate, I wasn't really so much. That really didn't irritate me to a point. But the only thing that does irritate me is he hasn't brought him on since Chelsea. He hasn't played a game since Chelsea, which is about 6, 7 weeks ago. So we've played Arsenal, we've played Leicester when we was 2 up cruising, we played Everton, we played all these sides, Newcastle, doesn't bring him on. Then all of a sudden, he has 17 days break and then goes like Lewis Guilherme is going to start. That to me is not building a man up. That's chucking him in at the deep end and hoping the fucking can swim. And that's where I got a bit lost with Potter. Now I put a tweet out on Twitter. I said, "Come on, Guilherme, right? I believe in you." But we all after 30 minutes, or not even after 30 minutes, after about 20 minutes, he had a good few touches. But what's that going to do to his confidence now? Getting hooked at half time. That ain't going to do him no favours. Do you know what I mean? You've been better off. Like, Guilherme's the sort of player, for me, in my honest opinion, you bring on for the last 15 minutes of games when teams are tired. Yeah. And you let him run. You say, right, you just get on your bike every time a ball over the top's coming to you. Right. So someone in midfield gets the ball, Guilherme on your bike, straight over the top, job done. Right. He's away. Right. And once he is quite a rapid player, everything was to his feet. But what can he do? You know what I mean? It's just, and I'm not even a fucking coach. Do you know what I'm saying? So, yes, but he doesn't know this midfield. Dell, he's 11 games, mate. Fuck me. So what? Like, he's had 11 games, and you're telling me that he doesn't know his midfield, so he goes with the two worst undisciplined players going. Like, fans can't be wrong, Dell. Come on. Do you know what I'm saying? He just tried to see it was down to the players. Evan misses a sitter. Ferguson, Falkirk kicks the bar. Suchek misses a sitter. Second half, we gave it a go. Couldn't finish. Right. I'm going to stop you right there, Dell. Right. You've said all the positives. Now go back, rewind, and go back to the first half when they scored, they hit the crossbar, and they had a one-on-one chance where Ariola saved it, and they also had an header. Because I'm going to teach you to be balanced on E20 Home TV. I'm telling you that now, right? Because I'm not having it any other way. You can be the side of saying that, but then I'm going to be the side of saying that we could have easily been 3-0 down before all of that happened. So, you know, we've got to be balanced, ladies and gentlemen. Got to be balanced. It's because we'll probably come off for Guilherme is so good. I'm trying to wasting jams. Yeah, so I understand that comment. Yeah, I just thought as a break clause in 18 months, does he feel safe? And he's fielding a side to prove to Sully what players are needed in the summer. Um, if he's doing that, but surely he must know though. But after 11 games, you'd probably know deep down what side, well, what players you're going to be keeping. If we can see it, what players he's going to be keeping, then he surely must know, being on the training pitch morning, noon, and night, right? So, like Krug, for instance, right? If West Ham can get rid of him, West Ham are going to get rid of him for profit, like for financially. Yeah, I look at the regular sort of players, right? Guido's going to go. Danny Ings is going to go, right? The Lewis Guilherme one just it does baffle me because if you're giving this geezer the opportunity, then it wouldn't surprise me if he plays on fucking Saturday. But then it wouldn't surprise me if we don't see him ever again this season. And we might not ever see him again in a West Ham shirt. Do you know what I'm saying? So it's so up and down at the minute. So up and down. Uh, okay, so 3-3. Well, you're asking a lot for 3-3, mate. Like, we're lucky to have a fucking shot on target there. What are you saying, bruv? Come on. Come on, be honest. Be honest with yourself. Was it James Wolf's player was a player of the match in the last 4 games. I don't know about that, Del. Me. He definitely wasn't playing the match against Everton. I know that for certain. But I know the Brazilian international Alvarez has been shit. Guido has been shite. Suchek is touch and go. He just don't care. You go with 3, mate. You go with 3 of them. It's been years since we've attacked. Well, it's depressing. Okay, I'll tell you what. Before we round this up, I want everyone in the chat to remember the last game that West Ham played where you looked at them and you thought, gosh, they was electric. Now, there's one game that comes to mind straight away for me, but I'm going to wait to see what comments you put in, and I'm going to wrap this up. I want to know if we're all on the same wavelength on this one, and or agree or not. Dale's gone Ipswich. It ain't Ipswich for me, mate. It's longer than that. Um, there's one game where see that's a shout. That's a shout. I thought that was one of the best performances, team performances in regards of effort and commitment and desire and playing for the shirt. For me, the best performance I ever see I've seen West Ham play where we played a good side and we was excellent was Liverpool at home a few years ago when we beat them 3-2 and Fornell scored and Zuma scored from the header. We was unreal in that game, absolute unreal, and um, I don't think I've seen anything better than that. The Leverkusen is a shout. It is a shout for performance levels and everything. But as an overall perspective, for me personally, I think Liverpool at home a few years ago when we were fucking brilliant, right? Absolutely superb. Well, it definitely wasn't Liverpool in the FA Cup. I know that. Do you know what I'm saying? I still haven't got over 2006, mate. That fucking hurt me, it did. Do you know what I'm saying? Steven Gerrard, absolute bastard. But yeah, but then Dell's gone back to 1995. Do you know what I'm saying? So there you go. We've got history lessons on E20 Zone TV. History lessons. So yeah, let me know what you think in the comment section below. Let me know how you feel on the future of West Ham. This has been a preview. I thought I'd do this, and this is me done now. I'm going away for a few days. And Lucas is going to do the afterthought on Saturday. I just hope West Ham put a performance in on Saturday afternoon against Bournemouth. There is no excuses now. We're at home, 60,000 fans. Bournemouth are coming to town. I expect West Ham to beat them. Simple as that. And I'm not asking for a lot. I'm asking for a win. And it seems like if you ask for a win, you're asking for gold or fucking blood. I'm not asking for blood. I'm asking for 3 fucking points. And let me know what you think. Also, Lenny's saying Seville at home. I think that was a more tactical performance, really, and we got the goal at a good time. But it's still a good performance. But I think Liverpool, as an overall attacking threat, I thought it was great. Yeah, smash a like on the video, subscribe to E20 Zone TV. That has been the preview, a long-winded preview, discussing all sorts of stuff of what's going on at our club. Be safe, be well, and all that, and hopefully, come Saturday night, we're all enjoying victory. If we're enjoying defeat, questions will still be asked, I'm afraid, ladies and gentlemen, and rightfully so. Peace.